Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Raj Academy. The main aim of this lecture is to discuss about the communication systems ESC prelims questions in a very detailed manner. If you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button. So whenever you upload a new video, the direct notification comes to mobile. If any improvements needed in the video lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. So why to waste more time? So let's get started. So now we are going to solve the first question. See the question here. In an amplitude modulated system, if the total power is 600 watt and the power in the carrier is 400 watt, then the modulation index is. So here option A 0.5, option B 0.75, option C 0.9 and option D 1. So out of the four options, option D 1 is the correct solution of this question. So in the question they have given if the total power is 600 watt and the power in the carrier is 400 watt. So we need to find what is the modulation index. So option D 1 is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So here the question belongs to the amplitude modulation. Amplitude modulation, in the question they have given the total power which is carried by the signal is 600 watt and the carrier which has a power of 400 watt. So we need to find what is the modulation index. M is called as the modulation index. It is also called as the depth of the modulation or the modulation factor. So the M is also called as the modulation index, modulation factor or the depth of the modulation. So here the total power carried by the signal is nothing but it's a summation of the carrier power of the carrier wave and also the side bands. Means in the power of the side band it consists of the power of the upper side band plus power of the lower side band. So therefore the combination of these two things is called as the power in the side bands. So here PC is again PC, but the power of side band we can write it as a PC into m square by 2. So if you take the PC as a common, it will become PC into 1 plus m square by 2. So this is a very standard equation. So by this equation we are going to solve this numerical. So PT is equal to PC into 1 plus m square by 2. In the question they are given PT is equal to 600 watt and PC is equal to 400 watt. So 1 plus m square by 2. So there is only one equation with one unknown. So we need to find what is the value of the m. So after solving this equation we are going to get m is equal to 1. So m is equal to 1 is the correct solution of this question. So always we are going to prefer m less than or equal to 1. Means we are going to keep the modulation factor or the modulation index less than or equal to 1 because to avoid the distortion. Means suppose the original signal can be, so by using the modulation we are going to increase the frequency of the signal, and by demodulation technique we are going to get the original signal. Means when m is less than or equal to 1, then only we are going to get the original signal from the modulation signal. So that is the reason always the m has to be less than or equal to 1, then only we are going to get the original signal. So m is nothing but Vm by Vc. Vm is nothing but the peak value of the message signal and Vc is called as the peak value of the carrier signal. Always Vc is greater than Vm. That is the reason greater than or equal to m. So Vc is always greater than or equal to m. That is the reason m is always less than or equal to 1. So we are going to prefer only in this region so that we are going to get the original signal from the modulated signal. So finally for this question the answer is m is equal to 1. So now we are going to solve the second question. See the question here. For an AM signal the bandwidth is 10 kilohertz and the highest frequency component present is 705 kilohertz. The carrier frequency used for this AM signal is. So in the question they have given the bandwidth is 10 kilohertz and the highest frequency component present is 705 kilohertz. So we need to find what is the carrier frequency in this AM modulation, means amplitude modulation. Option A 695 kilohertz, option B 700 kilohertz, option C 705 kilohertz, option D 710 kilohertz. So out of the four options, option B 700 kilohertz is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So in the question they are given the bandwidth is equal to 10 kilohertz and the highest frequency which is present in this amplitude modulation is 705 kilohertz. So we need to find what is the carrier frequency we need to figure out in this question. So if you see carefully, the frequencies which are present in this amplitude modulation signal is Fc and Fc minus Fm and Fc plus Fm. These are the only three frequencies which are going to present in the ambient modulation signal. So out of this, if you see carefully, the minimum frequency is fc minus fm and the maximum frequency is fc plus fm. Means the maximum frequency is fc plus fm and the minimum frequency is fc minus fm. So in the question, the maximum frequency is nothing but 705 kilohertz and the bandwidth is nothing but 10 kilohertz. So the bandwidth is nothing but always the bandwidth is equal to twice the message signal frequency. So here we are going to use only the one message signal. That is the reason we are going to use the 2 into fm. Suppose if you are going to use more than one message signal, then we are going to use the bandwidth formula is nothing but here 2 into maximum value of the individual frequencies fm1, fm2 and goes on. So out of this message signal, the maximum frequency message signal we are going to take and then we are going to do the multiplication if you are going to use more than one message signal. But in the question we are going to use only one message signal. So that is the reason it is 2 into fm. So bandwidth is equal to 2 into fm. So bandwidth they are given 10 kilohertz. So therefore 10 kilohertz is equal to 2 into fm. So if you solve this one, we are going to get fm is equal to 5 kilohertz. So here fh is nothing but the maximum frequency is nothing but fc plus fm. They are given fh is nothing but 705 and fc is we need to figure out and fm we just now calculated is 5 kilohertz. So if you solve this equation, we are going to get fc is equal to 700 kilohertz. So therefore the carrier frequency is 700 kilohertz is the correct solution of this question. So now we are going to solve the third question. See the question here. A carrier signal C of t is equal to 10 into cos 2 pi into 10 to the power of 6t is amplitude modulated by a message signal m of t is equal to cos 2 pi into 10 to the power of 4t. If the modulation index of the generated AM is 0.5, the ratio of the lower sideband power to the carrier power we need to figure out. So in the question they have given the carrier signal waveform and also the message signal waveform and also they have given the modulation index is 0.5. So only thing we need to figure out here is the ratio of the power of the lower sideband to the carrier power we need to figure out. Option A half, option B 1 by 4, option C 1 by 8, option D 1 by 16. So out of the four options, option D 1 by 16 is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. The question they are given the carrier signal waveform is 10 into cos 2 pi and 10 to the power of 60. So from this we are going to figure out the carrier frequency. Carrier frequency is nothing but omega is equal to 2 pi f. So therefore f is equal to 10 to the power of 6 means the carrier signal frequency is 10 to the power of 6 hertz. The message signal waveform is cos 2 pi and 10 to the power of 40. So from this we are going to find what is the frequency of the message signal. So fm is equal to 10 to the power of 4 hertz. So this is the frequency of the message signal and this is the frequency of the carrier signal. Always in amplitude modulation the carrier frequency is always greater than the message signal frequency. So here in the question they also given the modulation index is nothing but 0.5. So we have to find what is the ratio of the lower sideband power by the PC. PC is nothing but the carrier power, means the power which is present in this carrier signal. So this ratio we need to figure out. So here the basic formula is PT. The total power transferred by the signal is nothing but it is going to consist of the carrier power and also the sideband power. So sideband is nothing but it is going to contain two powers, means upper sideband and the lower sideband. So the power in each individual is always same, which is PC into m square by 4 and here also PC into m square by 4. So if you forget this one, the easy way is the first you need to remember the basic formula. PT is equal to PC into 1 plus m square by 2. So if you take the PC inside, PC plus PC is into m square by 2. So m square by 2 again you have to do equal to equal parts by 4 you have to do. So PC plus PC into m square by 4 plus PC into m square by 4. So this is called as a lower sideband power and this is called as the upper sideband power. So therefore these two powers are now equal. So therefore in the question the lower sideband power is nothing but PC into m square by 4. So PC I am going to take it as a downward. So PLSB by PC is equal to m square by 4. So this is the thing we need to figure out. The ratio of the lower sideband power to the carrier power is m square by 4. So m we already know, which is 0.5 whole square by 4. So if you solve this one we are going to get 1 by 16. So therefore finally the lower sideband power by the carrier power is nothing but 1 by 16. So therefore this is the correct solution of this question. So now we are going to solve the fourth question. See the question here. A 10 kilowatt carrier is sinusoidally modulated by two message signals corresponding to a modulation index of 30% and 40% respectively. The total radiated power is. So we need to find what is the total radiated power. Option A 11.25 kilowatt, option B 12.5 kilowatt, option C 15 kilowatt, and option D 17 kilowatt. So what are the four options? Option A 11.25 kilowatt is the correct solution of this question. So in the question they have given the carrier power is 10 kilowatt, and there are two message signals which are the modulation index of 30% and the 40%. So we need to find what is the total power which is radiated by this modulated wave. So option A 11.25 kilowatt is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So in the question they are given the carrier signal is going to have a power of 10 kilowatt. So in the question they also given that there are two message signals, means now the input are two message signals of the modulation index 0.3 and 0.4. So we need to find what is the total power which is carried by this amplitude modulated signal or AM signal. So if there are two signals, means we need to find what is the net modulation. The net modulation is nothing but under root over m1 square plus m2 square. So in order to calculate the net modulation index, always first we need to do the square of individual modulation index, and then we need to do the summation, and then we need to take the root. So therefore under root over 0.3 whole square plus 0.4 whole square. So if you solve this one, we are going to get this is the net modulation index, which is m is equal to 0.5. So now we are going to use the basic equation, which is nothing but Pt is equal to Pc into 1 plus m square by 2. So we know the value of Pc and we know the value of m. So substitute directly. So Pc is equal to 10 kilowatt, and in place of m we are going to substitute 0.5. So if you solve this equation, we are going to get Pt is equal to 11.25 kilowatt, means this much amount of power is now carried by this AM signal, amplitude modulated signal. So always we need to find what is the net modulation index, means here m is equal to under root over m1 square plus m2 square. So if you solve this one, which is very easy, we can solve the question. So this is the solution. So now we are going to solve the fifth question. See the question here. For an AM wave, the maximum voltage was found to be 10 volt and the minimum voltage was found to be 5 volt. The modulation index of the wave would be. So here they given the maximum voltage and the minimum voltage of the AM modulated wave. So now we need to find what is the modulation index. Option A 0.33, option B 0.52, option C 0.4, option D 0.1. So out of the four options, option A 0.33 is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So in the question they are given the AM wave as a maximum voltage of 10 volt and the AM wave as the minimum voltage of 5 volt. So we need to find what is the modulation index. Modulation index is nothing but Vm by Vc. Vm is the peak value of the message signal and Vc is the peak value of the carrier signal. This is the ratio we need to figure out. So here the maximum voltage is nothing but Vc plus Vm. Always Vc is always greater than the Vm. Then only we are going to get the M is less than or equal to 1. Then only the output we are going to, by using the envelope detector or the demodulation technique, we are going to get the original signal black from the AM modulated signal. So the maximum voltage is Vc plus Vm and the minimum voltage is Vc minus Vm. So if you do the addition of these two equations, so if you solve these two equations, means if you do the addition of these two equations, we are going to get Vc is equal to Vmax plus Vmin by 2. And if you subtract these two equations, means 1 minus 2, if you do this one, we are going to get Vm is equal to Vmax minus Vmin by 2. So we know the value of Vc and we know the value of Vm in terms of maximum minimum values. So M is nothing but Vm by Vc. So therefore now I am going to do the division of Vm by Vc. So therefore I am going to get M is equal to Vmax minus Vmin by Vmax plus Vminimum. The Vmax value is 10 and Vminimum value is 5. So if you substitute this value, we are going to get 10 minus 5 by 10 plus 5, which is nothing but 5 by 15 is nothing but 1 by 3. 1 by 3 means 0.33. So therefore the modulation index value is 0.33 is the correct solution of this question. So by using this formulas only, we are going to solve this question in a very easy manner. So now we are going to solve the sixth question. See the question here. In a broadcast transmitter, the RF output is represented as E of t is equal to 50 into 1 plus 0.89 cos of 5000 t plus 0.30 sin of 9000 t into cos of 16 to the power of 60 volt. So what are the side bands of the signals in radius? So we need to find what are the side bands signal frequencies or the omega in the radians per second. We need to figure out. So out of the four options, option B is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So in the question they are given the AM modulated signal, the equation they are given in the question, just E of t is equal to 50 into 1 plus 0.89 cos of 5000 t plus 0.3 sin of 9000 t into cos of 60 to the power of 60. So this is the equation just given in the question. So now we are going to compare it with the standard equation. The standard equation is Vc into 1 plus m1 cos omega 1 t plus m2 into cos omega m2 t into cos of omega ct. So by using this equation we are going to get that there are two message signals. There are two message signals and there is only one carrier signal. So therefore there are two message signals and there is only one carrier signal. So from this comparison we are going to get the message signal frequencies and the carrier signal frequency and also the carrier peak voltage. So therefore Vc is equal to 50. So this is the thing we got by the comparison. And similarly M1 is equal to 0.89 and M2 is equal to 0.30. So these are the things which we got. And similarly omega M1 is nothing but 5000. So 5000 we can write 5000 is nothing but 0.05 10 to the power of 6 radians per second, and omega m2 is nothing but 9000. So we can write in this fashion also 0.09 into 10 to the power of 6. And similarly omega c is equal to 6 into 10 to the power of 6 radians per second. So in the question they have given the m1 is 0.89 and m2 is equal to 0.3. So now I am going to find what is the net modulation index is nothing but under root over m1 square plus m2 square. So we know the value of m1 and we know the value of the m2. So after substituting these values we are going to get the net modulation index is 0.939. This is the net modulation index and this is not asked in the question. So this is for general convenience for this question. So here in the question they have asked what are the frequencies, means in the radians per second what are the frequencies which are present in this sideband. So what are the frequencies which are present in the sideband. So generally we are going to write what are the frequencies which are available in the E of t is nothing but omega c plus or minus omega m1 and omega c plus or minus omega m2. So but this is the carrier frequency and these are the sideband frequencies. So only sideband frequencies are we need to figure out. So omega c is 6 into 10 to the power of 6 and omega 1 is nothing but 0.05 into 10 to the power of 6. We need to do the plus minus. And similarly omega c plus or minus omega m2. So omega c is 6 into 10 to the power of 6 plus or minus and omega m2 is 0.09 into 10 to the power of 6. So these are the frequencies which are present in the sideband. So only in the question they have asked only the sideband. So therefore now if you do the summation, we are going to get 6.005 into 10 to the power of 6. If you do the subtraction of these two quantities we are going to get 5.995 into 10 to the power of 6. And similarly if you do the summation of these two things we are going to get 6.009 into 10 to the power of 6. And if you do the subtraction of these two quantities we are going to get 5.991 into 10 to the power of 6. So these many frequencies are present in this output which is E of t. So in this equation these are the frequencies which are present. So now we are going to solve the seventh question. See the question here. In amplitude modulation, the modulation envelope has a peak value which is double the unmodulated carrier value. So what is the modulation index we need to figure out? So here they are given the peak value of this modulated signal is twice the unmodulated carrier value. Means the carrier signal peak value is Vc. So therefore the maximum value they are given that 2 times of the Vc. So now we need to find what is the modulation index. So what are the four options? Option D 100% is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. The maximum value of the amplitude modulated signal is Vc plus Vm. This is already I have told you. So in the question they have given the maximum value is 2 times the unmodulated carrier wave, means the peak value of the carrier signal is Vc. So therefore in the question they have given Vmax is equal to 2 Vc. So this is the first equation and this is the second equation. So by comparing this 1 and 2, so Vc plus Vm is equal to 2 Vc. So Vc if it goes this side it will become 2 Vc minus Vc is nothing but Vc. So therefore Vc is equal to Vm. But the modulation index formula is Vm by Vc. So as Vm is equal to Vc, so therefore M is equal to 1. So M is equal to 1. Now we need to do it in terms of percentage, means so whatever the value we got we have to multiply by the 100. So therefore 1 into 100. So therefore the modulation index value is 100%. So therefore this is the basic way to solve this question. So finally the percentage of modulation index is nothing but 100%. So now we are going to solve the 8th question. See the question here. In an AM signal, when the modulation index is 1, the maximum power PT, where PC is the carrier power, is equal to. So we need to find when the modulation index is 1, what is the maximum power PT? PT is nothing but the transfer power or the power radiated power. So out of the 4 options, option B 1.5 PC, 1.5 PC is the correct solution of this question. So when the modulation index is equal to 1, we need to find what is the value of the total power or the radiated power. We need to figure out. So option B, which is 1.5 PC is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. The basic equation is total power which is rated by this AM wave is nothing but PC into 1 plus m square by 2. So in the question they have asked when m is equal to 1, we need to find what is the value of the PT. So substitute the m is equal to 1 in this equation. So we are going to get PT is equal to PC into 1 plus 1 square by 2. So if you solve this one, we are going to get PC into 1.5. So finally the amount of power which is transferred is 1.5 times the PC. So always m has to lies between 0 to 1. If m is equal to 0 means we are going to say it as a no modulation. When m lies strictly between 0 to 1, we are going to say it as a under modulation. And if m is equal to 1, we are going to say it as a critical modulation. And if m is greater than 1 means it is over modulation. Means in this case we are not going to get the original signal. Means by using the demodulation technique we are not going to get the original signal. So but by these 3 cases we can easily get the original signal back from this modulated signal by using the demodulation. Means the demodulation procedure is nothing but envelope detector. By using the process of envelope detector we are going to get the original signal back, because in the AM wave always the envelope is going to carry the original message signal. That is the reason. So whenever the m lies between this thing only, we are going to get the original signal back, but not for m greater than 1, because now for m greater than 1 there is a distortion in the envelope signal. So finally we are not going to get the original signal back from this modulated wave. That is the reason never operate in this region, always operate strictly in this region. So now we are going to solve the 9th question. See the question here. If the modulation index of an AM wave is changed from 0 to 1, the transmitted power is. So when the value of the m is going to change from 0 to 1, then what is the change in the transmitted power? Option A increases by 50%, option B increases by 75%, option C increases by 100%, and option D remains unaffected. So out of the 4 options, option A increases by 50% is the correct solution of this question. Means when the value of the m is going to change from 0 to 1, then we need to find what is the amount of increase or decrease in the transmitted power. So let's solve this numerical. So the basic equation is PT is equal to PC into 1 plus m square by 2. So always m lies between 0 to 1. So in the question they have given m is equal to 0. So when m is equal to 0, the PT is equal to, so substitute in place of m is equal to 0, we are going to get PT is equal to PC. And now substitute m is equal to 1. So if you substitute m is equal to 1, we are going to get PT is equal to 1.5 PC. So when m is changing from 0 to 1, then what is the amount of change in the PT value? So initially the PT value is nothing but initial value is PC, and the final value we are going to get 1.5 PC. So now we need to find what is the amount of change. Means final value minus initial value by initial value into 100. So final value is 1.5 PC, initial value is PC, and the initial value is PC. So if you do this calculation, we are going to get 50%. Means we got the positive value. Positive value means nothing but it is going to increase. So therefore finally the power, the transmitted power is going to increase by the 50%. So now we are going to solve the last question of this lesson, 10th question. See the question here. If large amount of information is to be transmitted in a small amount of time, we require. So if we want to transmit the large amount of information in a small amount of time, we require option A low frequency signals, option B narrow band signals, option C wide band signals, and option D high frequency signals. So out of the 4 options, option D high frequency signals is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So now let me assume there are 2 message signal. This is the message signal 1 and this is the message signal 2. So here suppose this is a time t. So in time t, there is only one cycle of the message signal, but here in time t there are 5 cycles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 4 cycles. So in time t there is only one cycle, and here in time t there are 4 cycles of the message signal M2, and there is only one message signal of the M1. So if you see carefully here, the information which is transferred is more when compared to the previous case, because the time period of the each cycle is less. So whenever the time period of each cycle is less, in time t, the number of cycles are more, means the message which is transmitted is also more when compared to the previous case. So in the time t there is only one cycle, means less amount of message traveled in time t, but here there are 4 cycles, means more amount of messages transferred in a time t. So that is the reason always use the high frequency signal, means as the time period decreases, as the time period of the cycles decreases, means the number of frequency is also increases, means the number of cycles in a given time is also increases. So whenever the frequency increases, means the time period decreases. So whenever the time period decreases, means the frequency increases, means the amount of information which is transmitted is more. That is the reason always use a high frequency signals. So whenever the frequency is high, the amount of information or the message is transmitted is also high. That is the reason always transmit the high frequency signals. For high frequency signals, the amount of information which is transferred is more. So that is the reason always use the high frequency signals for the large amount of information transferring. So by this lecture, we have successfully completed the 10 questions which are the previous year ESC prelims questions of the communication systems in a very detailed manner. If you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button. So whenever you upload a new video, the direct notifications comes to mobile. If any improvements needed in our video lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. Keep smiling, take care, and bye bye.